Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we are going to make a delicious fig and walnut Irish soda bread.
It's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Hi everybody, so today we're going to make a delicious Irish soda bread. Even though, as a disclaimer, I've never had an actual Irish soda bread, so this is just my version of one from what I've seen and from what I've learned. But trust me, you're gonna love it. It's so delicious. Oh, I just love this. This is probably my new favorite bread to eat. I have a piece of this almost every morning, lightly toasted with a little peanut butter on it. Love it. Okay, so we are gonna get started. So this is also gluten-free. So I have some gluten-free rolled oats here. This is 2 cups of rolled oats that we are just gonna lightly blend into a flour. Now I do this, I don't buy oat flour, first of all because it's kind of expensive for oat flour, and it's so easy just to make your own oat flour. And I also find for a lot of my baked goods, the typical oat flour from the grocery store is ground just a little bit too fine, so the loaf ends up being too heavy, or if you're making a cake, it ends up just being really dense. So if you just lightly grind, more like so it's just ground into small pieces rather than a fine flour, then your loaves and your breads, your cakes are going to be, they're still going to be kind of dense because it is oats, but it's going to be a little bit lighter. Okay, so I let it blend on mine. That's kind of a medium-high speed for about 30 seconds, so it doesn't overgrind. And it's still pretty gritty and grainy, you can see it. Okay, so let's put that in the bowl. Set that aside. Then I have 1 cup of almond flour, or almond meal, 1 cup of arrowroot powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3 tablespoons of flax meal, and that's going to take the place of, like, typically an Irish soda bread is made with wheat flour, or like a wheat or white flour, which creates gluten, which is what glues it all together. So the flaxseed is going to take the place of the gluten. It's going to help glue everything together. Along with the arrowroot powder, it kind of is a good binding agent. So we're just going to lightly mix this together a little bit first. And then I'm going to put in the ingredients that are going to flavor this bread. Now you can have it plain just like this, but my favorite way so far to have it is with 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts and 1/2 cup of chopped figs. This is my absolute favorite. I've also tried it with walnuts, cranberries, and a little bit of orange zest, which is also really delicious. So this bread kind of leaves, it leaves a lot of room for experimenting. If you want to make an herby bread, you could chop up like 1/2 cup's worth of herbs of some type that you like. That would work great too. Or olive, sun-dried tomato. Wow, the possibilities are endless. I love them all. So I'm just mixing this up a bit so that the figs and the walnuts kind of get coated in the flour, so then it kind of keeps them from sticking together in clumps. Okay, so now for our wet ingredients. I have 1.5 cups of unsweetened soy milk.
I just wanted to stop right here. After filming, I realized that the amount of soy milk that you should use, or plant milk, whatever plant milk you're choosing, it's better to use 1 1/4 cup instead of 1 1/2 cup. You get a much nicer, taller, full loaf instead of a flat, more spread out type of loaf like you're gonna see in the end of the video.
But like I always say, you can use whatever plant milk you choose. It's your choice. That's just the one that we have in our house. Do 2 teaspoons-ish of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and that is what's going to react with the baking soda, and it's going to give us that lift that you want. Okay, so now we're just going to stir it together, but don't overblend. This is kind of like making like a scone or a biscuit. You don't want to overmix because it tends to go a little bit tough. So you do kind of the fold method, you know? That's a little bit easier way to get it all mixed together without over blending. Okay, and as it sits, it's gonna start firming up right away. So I'll move these out of the way. I already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I have a baking tray here with a piece of parchment paper on it because it's gonna be a free-form type of loaf. Now, you want to wait just a few minutes. I think I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes before I put it on the pan because you kind of want it to just mound. If you put it in right now, see how it's still kind of fluid? It's more like a really thick cake batter. That's just going to ooze all over that tray. So you kind of want to wait till the arrowroot powder and the flax meal have kind of bound it together and it gets a little bit stiffer, and then I'll show you how to mound it on that cake pan. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share with you some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowdfunded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our new Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting members. By becoming a supporting member, you gain access to great member perks like monthly product giveaways, free downloads of our ebooks, and access to our in-depth courses, including our 28 Days Plant-Based Made Easy course, where we offer a step-by-step guide to making the switch to a fully plant-based diet. We create this show for the hundreds of thousands of viewers just like you who tune in each month from all over the world to make it easy for everyone to live a plant-based lifestyle. So if you love our content, please join us on our mission and become a supporting member today by following the link in the description. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, so it's set up pretty well. You can see here how that's, you know, a little bit more firm than it was. Okay, so we are going to just pour this out onto our baking tray. And it's not a super beautiful loaf, you know, like a wheat bread or a bread that has, you know, wheat or white flour in it, how it rises and it stays in a nice little mound and it looks all pretty. But this is a bit of a rustic type of loaf. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of bring up the edges a little bit just to create a little bit more roundness, and then to smooth out that surface, because if I just put it in there like this right now, that surface is kind of bumpy and lumpy, and when it bakes it's going to get kind of hard and sharp. So what I do, I get a little bit of water, put a little bit of water on my hands, and I just kind of smooth the surface, kind of working in the upward. A little bit more. The water will kind of help it keep it from sticking, and it helps you kind of smooth that surface over. Okay, now we're ready. Now we're ready to get that into the oven. Okay, it is done. So this was in the oven for 45 minutes. If you want to come in for a closer look to see what it looks like. Oh, it smells so good. I can't wait to dig into this. So I'm going to let this cool for about 10 minutes or so before I cut into it, and I'll meet you at the table for a taste. All right, guys, time for the all famous taste test. So I'm going to cut some off here. And as you see, just like I mentioned in the video, I didn't let it sit for quite long enough, and when it was baking it kind of just flattened out a little bit. So it really is important, but of course I was rushing it, I couldn't wait. But the one good thing is that that doesn't affect the flavor at all. That is so hearty. And then you get the sweet taste of one of those figs. And the crunch of the walnut. I'm so glad I made this today because this is what I get to eat today. Be sure to make this, give this video a like, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next week.